What's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to share with you one simple trick that I use to decrease my guest communication as a short-term rental host by about 50%. Now this will save you a ton of time and headache because as a host, whether you're investing in properties on Airbnb, managing other people's properties, you're just hosting your own space on Airbnb, one of the most inconvenient parts of hosting is responding back to guest messages. Virtually everything else that has to do with hosting on Airbnb can happen on your own schedule. You can schedule the cleaners when it makes sense for you. They have to go by at whatever time they have to go by, but as far as actually reaching out to them and scheduling them, that can happen whenever you want. Doing things like pricing updates, you can do that any time of the day, just really whatever you want. Updating your listing, scheduling your photographer, you name it. Pretty much everything is relatively flexible to your schedule, with the really glaring exception of guest communication. If a guest messages you at 6 p.m. when you're just sitting down for dinner with your family, you can't very well just wait until the next morning to respond to that. You need to respond in a timely manner to your guests when they're reaching out, and that's problematic or challenging for people when they have families, they have lives, they just don't like to be on their phone like me, or if you work a 9 to 5 and you can't necessarily be doing personal messaging during work hours. And so what you really want to do is cut this down as much as possible. Now long term, you can also outsource it, hire a guest communication person, all kinds of different ways you can do it, but one of the best things that I ever did was just decrease the volume of guest communication I was getting, cut it about in half with just this one simple trick, and that's having a really, really good guest guidebook. And this is basically going to be a guidebook that tells guests all the stuff they're going to need to know about your property, answers any questions they might have, so that a lot of those questions that they would otherwise be messaging you for, they have right at their fingertips, easily accessible through the guidebook. Now, there's a whole host of different tools out there that you can use for a guidebook. You can go super simple, low tech, and you can have just an actual written physical guidebook at the property. You can go somewhat higher tech, but still really straightforward and completely free, and you can just put together like a keynote presentation or a PowerPoint presentation. You can export that to a PDF if you want to and just send over a PDF or a slideshow, or you can go a little bit more advanced and you can use a software like Hostfully. Now the advantage of having something like Hostfully is it's just a lot easier for guests to use. It's more user-friendly and intuitive. It basically creates almost a website where they can go and click on different headings and they can get taken to an exact page that shares them all the information they need. And a really nice side benefit is that you can collect guest email addresses by sharing it with them and having them input their email address in order to access that guest book. So really, there are pros and cons with the different options, but it doesn't really matter what you use. If you go super low tech and you just use a physical guest book, then the disadvantage there is that obviously that guest book can get lost, it can get taken, it can get damaged, things like that. And it's just a hassle to update it if things change at the property. A slightly more high-tech one, like a PowerPoint or a PDF, it's great. It's gonna be easier to update, easier to share. You're never gonna lose it. It can't get damaged. But the downside is you're not gonna be able to collect guest email addresses when handing it out. And then the other obvious downfall of that is it's just not quite as user-friendly. It's not quite as intuitive. And on a Hostfully side, if you use something like that, then it's really intuitive. It benefits from everything of being virtual and digital, but just way more intuitive, way more user-friendly. And you can collect guest email addresses. The only downside of something like Hostfully is that it costs money. Last time I checked, using Hostfully for your guidebooks was about $10 a month. So it's pretty nominal. And for me, that makes a lot of sense because in addition to cutting down my guest communication by 50%, I'm also going to be able to collect guest email addresses, so I can really easily justify the $10 a month I'm spending. But to each their own. What's much, much more important than the tool you use to build your guidebook is what's actually inside the guidebook. What I found to work really well is Guys, just want to take a quick break here to say that for those of you watching who want to build cash flow and long-term wealth by purchasing Airbnbs and short-term rental properties, there's a link in the description right down below for a free training that'll walk you through my exact strategy for investing successfully in Airbnbs. Now, if you're not ready to actually buy properties and you want to get started managing other people's properties on Airbnb the same way I got started and build a full-time income managing other people's properties, there's actually another free training linked in the description down below as well that'll be a really great fit for you. So whether you want to invest in short-term rental properties and actually build amazing cash flow and long-term wealth by acquiring the assets, buying the properties themselves, or you're looking to earn a full-time income managing other people's properties on Airbnb, we've got some awesome trainings that are linked in the description down below that'll definitely help you out. When you sign up for the trainings, we're also going to send you a few other tools and resources completely for free just to help you get started. Again, the links to sign up are in the description down below, and both trainings and all the tools are completely free. So make sure to register for the trainings, links in the description down below. What I found to work really well is just going and staying at your property, or you can also look back over the guest messages that you've gotten over the years or over the months or however long you've been hosting, and just see all the questions. Try to anticipate all the questions that are going to come up that people are going to have challenges with. And what you'll want to do is document exactly what to do. And in addition to that, one thing I found that's really helpful is inside of my Hostfully guidebook, not only do I have specific categories for every different amenity at the property that's going to answer all the questions they have. So for example, I've got a fireplace at the property. There's going to be a tab for the fireplace. And once you go into it, you can see a breakdown of exactly how to use the fireplace, where to get the firewood, all these different things. Same thing with my projector, same thing with the TV, same thing with all the appliances, same thing with all the other amenities there. They're all broken down categorically. And then you've got your basic, more general guidelines like how to check into the property, how to check out of the property, things to do nearby, attractions nearby, restaurants nearby, all this cool stuff. But what I found even more helpful, taking it to the next level, is in addition to the written instructions that I provide to my guests, I also like to provide video instructions for certain amenities that I know constantly get questions from guests. So for example, I always get questions about the hot tub. I always have people reaching out saying, I don't know how to adjust it. I don't know what I've done, blah, blah, blah. There's all these issues that come up with the hot tub because some hot tubs are a little bit less intuitive, less user-friendly. You know, the ones where you've got the like 4 buttons, and if you press one, it starts blinking some couple of letters at you. You don't really know what you did. You don't really know how to get back out of that menu screen. You just want to get back to adjusting the temperature or something simple, right? And so what I did is I put together a video that shows exactly what buttons to press in order to accomplish what you need to. And I also do some troubleshooting in that video. So I show if you accidentally press this button, here's how to get out of it. If you accidentally press this one, here's how to get back. Here's when you should just wait, give it 30 seconds. It'll go back to the main menu, all those sorts of things. And so all of that is included in the video. So that way, number one, most guests are going to solve their own problems, because what's going to happen is if they have an issue with the hot tub, they're going to go to the guest book, go to the hot tub section, and they're just going to find the solution to the problem themselves, because that's quicker than reaching out and asking support or asking our team. But the other thing is if they do reach out and ask our team is going to have a pretty hard time generally, especially with less kind of techno-friendly guests. It's going to be really challenging for our team to accurately troubleshoot the issue when they're not there at the property in person. And so instead of doing that, what our guest communication team does is they just go, hey, did you check the guest book? Did you watch that video? And they'll sometimes just send them that link directly to the video. They'll say, just go through the steps in this video and that'll help you solve it. So now we can have just a templated message that we send out to troubleshoot that issue, as opposed to having to have a whole bunch of back and forth for 15, 20, 30 minutes trying to get the issue resolved. We've just already resolved it. We've created a video. We can send that to them. So now it's one templated message as opposed to 10, 15, 20 messages back and forth with that guest trying to resolve the issue. I, of course, used one single example of the hot tub, but for any of those kind of trickier amenities that we have at the property, I like to put these videos together. So for example, our projector, if you have anything like a video game machine, a video game console, anything like that, if you have a sauna, if you've got maybe a space heater or an air conditioning unit or a thermostat that's a little bit trickier, a little bit less intuitive, anything like that, you can just set these up for. You do it once and you will thank yourself for years to come, because it really drastically cuts down on guest communication by having these video explainers. So that's my big tip for you guys, is put together a really, really robust user manual for your property. That's going to be the guidebook. You want to put this together. I find that a lot of hosts are reluctant to, or they just put it off and they procrastinate actually doing it because it does take some time. It's going to take you a couple of hours to put together a really, really good guest book. But the thing is, yes, you're going to invest that time up front, but you're then going to cut back on the amount of time you're spending long term. So in the long term, it is going to save you a ton of time. The other thing that you can do that's actually like an expert level hack is you can just build it over time. So as guests reach out with additional questions, make sure you answer those questions that one time, but then catalog it and add it to that user guide so that now in the future, you don't have to answer that question again. What you can also do, instead of going by the property yourself and recording these videos, I'll often now just have my cleaning team or my maintenance team go by and record those videos for me so that when they're there troubleshooting any issue that might come up, they just record it and then we can add it into the user manual. I hope you found this video helpful. That's my tip for really drastically cutting down on guest communication. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you did get value from this video, if you liked it, if it was helpful to you in any way, shape, or form, please take half a second and just hit that like button down below the video. It really helps me out tremendously with growing this channel and getting these videos in front of more people. And last but not least, make sure that you consider subscribing. Just hit that subscribe button again right down below the video there. If you're interested in seeing more of the videos we post every single week on this channel, helping you to be a better host, a better short-term rental investor, better short-term rental manager, helping you with all things Airbnb short-term rental related, just subscribe. We post 2 new videos every single week. With all that said, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.